Good to see y'all again. This team has continued to impress me. Their work ethic, their ability to continue to connect with each other and push each other to be the best that they can be day in and day out is so impressive. It's fun to watch a group of kids set their goals and then find a way not only just to look within, but to find a way to motivate themselves and each other to strive for excellence every day. See, our journey started a long time ago. I mean, the journey for this year started in August. And this group has continued to be very impressive in their preparation, both physically and mentally, and in their maturity and how they handle every situation that gets put in front of them. We know with the start of the season coming here and the increased scrutiny that is getting ready to happen and the high expectations and all that stuff that goes into it, that they're going to be challenged some more. And there's no way to predict or to understand how what the adversity is going to be, first of all, or how we're going to handle it. That's the fun and the excitement of the season. I think we all get into a trap of assuming that because somebody had a great season last year, then automatically it's going to happen again. And I try to get our kids ready for not really being so result and outcome oriented as much as continuing to trust the process, continuing to prepare, and realize that this is a game of failure. It's a game of failure and it's a game of struggle. And right now, I'm not ready to announce a lineup today. I'm not ready to come and tell y'all really what the outlook for the season is because, first of all, I've never been right. I've never predicted it the right way. And second of all, there's still a lot of competition going on, and there's some things that are still unsettled. With my perspective, now as I get older and more fragile in my life, I realize that you go day to day. And you put everything you got into right now. And that's the approach that this team's going to take. We're going to put everything we got into right now. We're not going to look too far behind us. And we're not going to look too far ahead of us. We're going to keep our nose to the ground. And we're just going to keep getting after it. And let's see where we end up. So with that, I'll take any questions. Or I'll go sit down.
Mike, that being said about the lineup, it has to be a good thing that you got people back at virtually every everyday position. You got experienced people available.
This team has a lot of experience. And you not only have a lot of returning starters, you have a lot of solid pieces to the puzzle. Kids that have been consistent and productive in what they've done. So it starts with the two kids that he mentioned, Lexi Elkins and Shelly Landry, who both were announced to the top 50 watch list. Both of those kids, when healthy and when going right, they're incredible. And not only for what they do offensively and in terms of what they do in terms of power production, but I've seen some growth in both of those kids and how they lead and how they affect other people around them. Lexi's going to be handling a young pitching staff this year. So, a lot of focus is going to be on the pitchers, but we're going to put a lot of responsibility on her. And I think she's ready to handle that. And, Shelly, especially being a local kid, she's Ragin Cajun through and through. Her mama played volleyball here, her little sister's on the team. I mean, this is who she is, and she's dreamed since she was a little bitty girl about winning a national championship. So we're lucky, we really are lucky to have those kind of kids and that kind of leadership on the team. But there's other returners, Kelsey Vincent, Haley Hayden, DJ Sanders, Aaliyah Creighton, Kelly Martinez, Samantha Walsh. I mean, we got some good kids. Some good kids that are competing, and we got a lot of good young kids. Well, those young kids' mama is sitting in the stand, in the audience. Better talk about her daughter.
Speaking of your young pitching staff, just how big of a hole was left when your seniors graduated last year? How confident are you to fill that?
Well, when Brooke Mitchell graduated in the first cycle that we were here, and it left what you call a void, one of my good friends from high school, he called me on the phone after opening weekend and he said, Coach Mike, I don't know if you realize this or not, but in college, they can only stay there for 4 years. After 4 years, you're going to have to replace them. So I've learned my lesson from 12 years ago. I mean, we've been getting ready for these kids' graduation for the last 2 or 3 years. Now, whether or not Alex Stewart and Kylie Joe and Victoria and Macy and Allison and Summer are ready to go jump right in that circle and there not be any drop-off, well, I think that's unfair. I mean, every great pitcher that we've had in this program has taken some time to learn and develop and to get comfortable and their confidence and get the trust of their teammates and the community, etc., etc. This is not going to be built overnight, and hopefully we have some experience in some other places so we don't have to put undue pressure on 1 or 2 kids. I mean, everywhere I go, everybody asks who's going to pitch. And I understand that pitching is a big part of the success of this team. But right now, we don't know the answer. It's going to be a work in progress. But I think we have good kids. I think we have a good system. I think there's going to be some growing pains along the way. But I think those kids are going to get to where they need to get.
So, like, you seeing your daughter on the team this year, you talked to, Coach Hunspeth, Coach Mullen, Coach Robichaux about what it's like coaching your own kids?
No, I haven't talked to him. I got to deal with her mama. That's who I have to talk to, I guess. I got a great relationship with my kid, and I love that kid, and she's learning, and I love the fact that she's in that environment because it's going to make her a more confident woman. It's going to make her a more competitive woman. It's going to bring out some parts of her personality that need to be developed. She's going to be put in situations where she's going to be challenged and she's going to have to get out of her comfort zone. And she's going to be in a situation now where she's not one of the top players on the team. She's going to have to work her way up through the ranks. And different dads parents, when they're coaching, their kids coach them different ways. And my kid's gonna have to earn everything she gets. And it's just the way I believe. When we're at home, I'm daddy, but when she's on the field, I'm her coach, and there's gonna be no special treatment, and she may, in fact, get it harder than the rest of them. But I love that kid. I love Chelsea. I'm so proud of who she is, 4.0 her first semester. I love who she represents. I love what she stands for. I love her mama. She's a good kid. Sure, Chelsea probably redshirt this year. You know, she redshirt this year and probably work her way through the ranks. So I was just kind of teasing Steph while I was sitting there.
You know, she's been your daughter forever. But how is it different for you going to work with your child?
No, I mean, we have such a close family. You know, Steph and I. People always ask us that, how can you do that? How do you coach with your wife for the last 16 years? And Steph's you know, we were talking about this the other day, but Steph's in development now, but she's still in the same office. We're still in the same office. And the heart and soul of this program, to me, since her involvement in the late 90s, has been her. It's been Stephanie. And even though now she's doing the fund, I mean, think about it. In the last 2 months, we needed $750,000 to get that hidden facility started. Self-funded. She did it. 2 months. Raised $750,000 in hard economic times. It's this community, this fan base, who is so awesome to put up that kind of commitment to continue to grow that program. Tony said it the other day. She's with Tony on 90% of the ask that he does to get the new baseball stadium done. So, our family is about Ragin Cajuns. I mean, that's who we are. We're so linked to this university and this athletic department. That's been our lives. Our kids have grown up at the field. That's where we met. That's what we've done for the last, it's more than 16 years. For her since the late 90s, for me since the mid 80s. This has been my love, this has been my passion. This is what we do. And to have your kids love what you love is a blessing. Like your kid loves what you love. We didn't force them into it. That's what they love too. And that's a blessing to us. I don't think I'd be wanting to watch piano or ballet. I don't know if I could. I guess I could do it, but it's a blessing to me that I get to watch her catch and fly balls and try to learn the split grip. You know, it makes for an enjoyable dinner around the table. And then the fact that the values that we grew up with are the same values that they are adapting as they go through their formative years. It's just a blessing. I mean, I got the greatest kids. I do have the greatest kids. And we've been molded by our Ragin Cajun experience. It's been a phenomenal ride and an unbelievable experience. And now to have her a part of it, it's a lot job, as they say.
Talking about blessings, I know you said you're not going to go to the line, but how much of a blessing is it for you to be able to figure out all these bats where to put them? You guys are going to have them.
Well, I've said this every year, and I think I can say it again this year. I haven't gotten a 9 yet. Believe it or not, y'all may have your lineup filled out, but I haven't gotten 9 hitters that I can rely on in a super regional setting that are prepared and ready to go. So it's not hard yet. You get to 6 or 7 and you run out of players, and that's when it's hard, because you're picking one or the other. We still have to get more kids ready, and we have to get more kids at that level. So it's gonna be a challenge over the next week or two to decide who's gonna get in it or not. And the right people have to stay healthy. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about my health.
I know you mentioned this team is a work in progress, but how much progress have you seen just from ball practice to now? This team progresses every day, and not just in their skill level, but how they've grown together, how they love each other. You talk about chemistry, and we've talked about that issue as we've gone through other seasons in other sports. But day by day, as you go through it, those relationships that you're developing and those bonds that grow stronger and stronger are what make a team. It's not only this kid learned a new pitch, or this kid is hitting the ball more consistently. It's the bond between this kid and this kid is stronger. The respect that this kid has for this kid because of what she just went through and how she handled it is stronger. To me, that's the team bonding. As those girls grow stronger and stronger and stronger together, and they build stronger and stronger relationships, then the team is going to get better and better and better. And that when the best player on the team has the utmost respect for the last sub, and it's so mutual, when that sub has the same respect and admiration for the best player, not because how far she hits the ball, but because of the pureness of her heart. That is what's impressive to me about this team. Even last year, their capacity to love and care about each other without getting caught up in all their selfish motives was so impressive to me. And when the adversity and the struggle comes, then they don't back down. They're not going to back down. That's what I believe.
Can you talk a little about the relative strengths of Alex and Kyla Joe and some of the new pitchers? What do you like about them? Say, does one person do something very well?
Well, Alex, it's her 3rd year in the program.
She throws the ball mid-60s. That's above average velocity. She has an above average changeup. She can spin the ball up. She can spin the ball down. She can move the ball in. She can move the ball out. I mean, she's got the makings of being a top-tier pitcher. She has some things that she has to work on and has been working on it. Kylie Joe is very similar to Alex. Same height, same build, same velocity, same repertoire, and some of the same issues that she's working on, trying to get better. Victoria throws harder than anybody on the staff. Victoria throws upper 60s. She's developed a pitch up in the zone. Her changeup is getting better and better. She can move it in and out. Macy has gotten so much better. I mean, Macy was pretty much one-dimensional. Now her speed is low 60s, and trying to develop all the spins. Allison is a lefty, so it gives you a different look. You know, you see lefties all the time, so she gives a different look with her screw and her drop curve, and then she's developed on speed too. And then Summer Ellison, the freshman, she's got the greatest spin of all of them. I mean, her spins are true and the highest. Her rise, her curve, her change. I mean, her stuff is really, really good. So it's a matter of them getting the mound time, and it's a matter of them getting the confidence, and it's a matter of them gaining trust not only in themselves, but gaining the trust of their teammates and the community. And how do those kids transform? You know, how did Hamilton transform from a kid that sat on the bench and never pitched to all of a sudden she's an All-American? I mean, what happened? Her spins were the same. Her speed was the same. Something clicked in her mind that said, I'm going to be the best. It's a confidence thing. It's a mental thing. It's the trust in herself and her teammates. And it's that will to win. And how does that happen? I mean, it's the same with developing a quarterback. It's the same with developing, you know, anybody that's under that constant pressure and scrutiny and spotlight all the time. It's not easy to do. And it takes a special personality to be able to handle that scrutiny and to continue to develop and grow. I think these kids, I've spent more time in the bullpen over the last year and a half, and I've grown to love every one of these kids. I've grown to love their work ethic. I've grown to love their passion, their competitiveness, their will to win. If they struggle, it's not going to be because of lack of desire or want to. They're going to struggle. I keep telling them that. You're going to struggle. It's just part of the process. You just got to come out of the struggle and adversity stronger. You can't let it make you take a step back. You gotta put on your blinders. Just go at it. What you do in February is not going to matter in June. Just keep growing and learning and developing every time you get a chance to get out there. And I think they will. I really do. I think we have the right kids in the right system.
Is there a greater chance than normal to have the joke we always say about pitching staff by committee, or do you expect one or two girls to take on whoever it is in this fall?
I mean, Every year at this time of the season, it's the same joke. You expect it to be a staff. But in June, we're going to be talking about one. It's just the way it is. So, maybe if I do it backwards this year, and say I'm expecting it to be one, then it'll end at 5. But somebody's going to separate themselves. That's what history tells me. I'll be on the right side of history this time.
You good?
Thank you all. Yep,
Coach?
appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep.